This is the way it's supposed to sound when the sun rises in Michigan. Canadian geese, songbirds pretty much everywhere. I got two, it looks like a doe and her yearling moving through some tall reeds next to this wetland. You know, guys, as hunters, it's quite often that we get caught up in wanting more. You know, we want more land, we want more deer, we want bigger deer, we want more toys. We want, you know, more technology to help us, more. We're always wanting more to make us efficient killers. And it has all the technology, and that mentality has made us extremely efficient killers. But it's starting to make us extremely poor hunters. And if you don't know what I mean by that, just go back in time for one season. That's all I'm asking, guys. One season. Take off your scent lock, camouflage. Take off all your thermal layers. Everything like that. Throw away your compound for a season. Just put it in a closet and get you just a simple bent D-bow with a wooden arrow and a 2-blade broadhead. Leave your trail cameras in the garage and just hunt for the hunt. Put the wind in your face. Learn to really appreciate what you have. Guys, I don't have a lot of acreage here. A lot of the property around me is well managed. You can hear there's cars, there's traffic only 8 acres away from me, going 60 miles an hour. I don't have much, and it's too often I find myself wanting more and getting in that mentality. Sitting here this morning, watching everything come to life, I really realized that I need to start appreciating what I do have. I have a few acres to hunt. It's a really nice little piece of heaven that not a lot of people have. I can come back here in the morning, sit down. I don't even have to bring my bow with me. I can just sit here and enjoy it. So I'm just asking you guys for one season. Put away all your gadgets. Get yourself a simple bow. Make yourself a hickory bow, an Osage bow. Get yourself an old school laminate bow. I don't care. Just simplify your hunting experience for one season. We don't need that stuff, guys. We just need to worry about the hunt. Stop worrying about chasing that monster buck. Stop worrying about what your neighbors are shooting. Too many people are worried about farming deer. They want to grow monster bucks on their property and complain that their neighbors are being successful. It's time to just get back to hunting. Be happy for your neighbor when he shoots that 6-point, because it might be the only time he got to get out that year. He might be 14 and that's his first deer. He might just want the meat, and he's just as happy with that deer as any deer. We've got to forget all the drama and just get back to hunting. I guess that's just my 2 cents for the morning.
So it really never seems to amaze me anymore just how tough these deer are. Seems every year we see wounded deer that just manage to survive. Check out the wound channel across this deer's back. It seems to have almost cut him clean in half. This little buck came walking by, well within gun range, but well out of bow range for us traditional guys. What do you think this wound's from? Do you think it was a poorly placed shot? Do you think he possibly got hit by a car, tangled up in some farm equipment, caught under a fence? It's really hard to tell. We're gonna go clear back to 2010 on this one, guys. I was just a young buck. I mostly want to share this hunt with you guys because it's one of my very favorite turkey seasons and one of my very favorite hunts as well. The weather was absolutely insane this season. It went from 0 degrees and snowing to 55 degrees, sunny, to windy, to sleet, hail, everything that the weather could throw at you this season, it threw at me. And I remember sitting through all of it. Had a lot of turkeys, a lot of big toms like the one you see here, but it took me a while and I had a really enjoyable experience, and I'm glad that it took a while to get it done. Alright guys, this wouldn't be a true turkey hunt if I didn't just completely mess something up. This shot still haunts me. I was fumbling around with my camera trying to get the bird in my screen and ended up completely missing the tom, not only with the camera but also with my shot. I just swing and miss. I remember the rest of the day I just watched turkeys filter through, hens, jakes, a couple toms, and I was just hanging my head in shame after missing that first tom and didn't even want to shoot. I still enjoyed the hunt absolutely that day. I've seen more turkeys than I'd ever see at that property today. I had such a high population of turkeys that it was just almost crazy for about 3 years. I just don't see birds like this anymore at that same property. Just due to predators, mostly coyotes and raccoons eating their eggs. But life goes on and I still shoot a lot of good birds at that same property. So here we have another big weather change. It was thunderstorming, rain, sleet, hail, anything you could think it was throwing at me. That didn't seem to stop the turkeys from moving, as you'll see later on. All the crazy weather swings that happened this season is part of what made this season so special to me and part of what keeps it in my memories. Even though this is years and years ago, this is also vivid in my mind. I was just completely drenched, cold, sopping wet, and had thought about quitting repeatedly. But I had a good feeling today was going to be the day. And as you can see, a lot of times if you just hold out that last 5 minutes and just keep telling yourself that every 5 minutes, eventually, even though the rain's coming down sideways, thunder's booming, you might call yourself in a tom. I ended up calling in 3. So it looks like I'm so far back from my decoys because I had to move my blind so I wasn't sitting in the water. I'm about 30 yards out and I just picked the biggest tom out of the group. Pick a spot before he gets out of the camera. I just let him have it. What a great ending to a fantastically crazy season.
Well, here's this eastern tom you just seen me shoot. I made about a 30-yard shot on him. Him and 3 other toms came in, and the fourth one actually held up just up the hill a little bit, but three of them came in and gave me a good 30-yard broadside shot. I ended up hitting him just a little low, but he only made it about 75 yards and went down. This whole season has just been crazy with the rain and the wind, and I believe opening day it snowed 2 inches here, and the next day it was about 50 degrees and sunny. So that just gives you a little bit about how crazy the weather's been for trying to hunt these turkeys and stuff. I'm really happy I got it done. I made a shot on a Jake earlier in the year, and ended up, I think that the coyotes might have got him or something. I gave him a little too much time, I think. But so I'm just really happy I got this Tom. Hopefully you guys can join me later on for deer hunting in western Michigan.
3 years ago, I had a hunt that sticks out to me. I remember I just needed the meat. I remember opening up my meat freezer and there was just nothing in there. I told my girlfriend I was going to go out and get a deer real quick. I had a brand new Bear Montana that I didn't need. I had enough bows and I just thought I wanted. I beat myself up for getting it. I took some cedar shafts that my good archery buddy made me and I got myself a deer. It took about 10 minutes. After I found the perfect tree.
Wasn't too bad. It's always a good thing when they die right in sight like that. No tracking. That was a pretty good hunt.
That hunt really stuck out to me. That little buck was the first to put meat in that freezer, but definitely not the last that season. I ended up filling the freezer with that buck, a couple does, and a fantastic buck at the end of the year, late in the season. It was a great season for me, but it was that quick hunt and that little buck that really started it all. This last hunt's nothing special, just a whole lot of fun. Sometimes shooting big bucks is great, but sometimes getting a plan, getting your equipment around, and having it all come together is just as good. This last little deer, the 2021 season, is a perfect example of that. I had an absolute blast hunting these does over their bedding area during late season. It was getting close to the end of gun season, and the pressure makes these deer awfully weary. This property is a give me if you're a gun hunter, but it's definitely a challenge for the bow hunter just due to a lot of gun pressure in the area. I hope you guys enjoy this hunt as much as I enjoyed filming it.
She's tricking me. That's not the way that was supposed to go. She was supposed to come down this trail right beside me. Instead, she walked right into my wind. You win some, you lose some, but that's a lot of fun. She still doesn't know it was me. Yeah, she's right back to feeding. I've got to get back to this spot tomorrow. There's gonna be a doe going down here in one of these evenings. It never gets old. I love doing this stuff. So glad I was able to make it out tonight. Now, if I was a gun hunter, during gun season, this hunt would be over. Now it is gun season, but I'm a bow hunter, and I just can't feel right shooting with a gun. There's a couple big does in that group. Hopefully you can tell just by the size of some of the other does with them, but there's two great big ones. It's getting to be low light. It doesn't look like they're gonna feed within range, and I'm cold, ready to head in. It's gun season. I got a couple doe sneaking through this thicket behind me. I literally just got here, so I didn't have time to do an interview, but it looks like they're gonna be too close for me to talk, so we're just gonna get right into hunting. A lot of little doe moving through here. We might give her a pass. she's pretty small. Alright, that little doe moved on. I got a break in the deer for a second to explain why I'm right here. So, all this thicket behind me is a bedding area. Usually you don't set up right on a bedding area. But the wind was in my favor today to be in this spot. And the snow falling on all them reeds back there masks my sound to get in this tree. And those 4 does that just went through right there is exactly why I'm here. I'm just trying to get a couple does out of this bedding area. This farmer lets me hunt this property because it's overrun with deer. I probably shouldn't have passed that little doe. The shot was, it was out there for a traditional bow. But she was standing dead still, looking right past me. Probably could have taken her pretty easy. I've made shots like that plenty of times. But the fact is, I don't want to wound a doe in this, for one thing. But another thing, there's a lot more big does on this property than that little doe. The two that scooted past here before I could get the camera on were both bigger than that. There's a road where they were headed. It's been pretty busy, so they might come back, you never know. I got one doe tag on me, so I don't want to waste it on a small deer, even though the small deer do taste better. So that's the scoop, guys. It's gun season. I don't know if you can hear the gunshots going off, but it's gun season in Michigan, and that's why I'm wearing all this orange. Got orange on my feathers. I don't like being shot at, and I'm not familiar with this property. And legally in Michigan, even if you're hunting with a bow, I don't know about other states, but the more orange you got on, the better. I'm gonna get back to hunting. Looks like the wind is shifting on me a little bit. I'm starting to get snow in my face now. Not what we need, but I'm here. It's hunting. It's a good spot. Life is good until dark. Maybe we'll sneak back out here tomorrow if the weather's gonna be alright and if the wind's gonna be right. Let's see how this goes. Not the biggest doe, but definitely good eating, and it's late in the season, so I'm not being picky. That was a fun hunt. Regardless of the deer, that was a fun hunt. It's cold, it's like super, that's why my face is so red, because I'm all wind burned. That little deer came in on the back side of me. Got another little deer right here, headed headed right downwind. She'll probably catch my scent in a second. I do got another tag and I got a little time left, so we're gonna let that little deer lay where she is and hunt for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to catch a Christmas parade with my family tonight, so good night all the way around. When she came in, I drew on the spot that I wanted to shoot. I have a hole there, and that's where I planned on shooting if they came down that trail. There wasn't no shot opportunity though. She was moving too quick, and she stopped. You'll probably see from the footage where she stopped. It probably looked good from the camera, but I couldn't shoot. So I was just holding and holding. I shoot 70 pounds, so I didn't want to hold forever, and I didn't know what she was going to do. So I went ahead and let down. I think I did that twice. Drew and let down. She gave me a decent little shot, so I took it. If she would have came any closer the way she was coming, she would have been too close for me to shoot. Got a branch that runs out here, and there's no shot there. So everything went pretty good. Even though it didn't go as planned, it still went good. Setting up on these does in a bedding area, so much fun.
Alright guys, here she is. Cold and wet and miserable. I already got her gutted out. To be completely honest guys, this deer almost gave me the slip. The shot was farther back than I originally thought, even though the doe laid down immediately after I shot her. I went ahead and went to a event with my family for the holidays. They had a big Christmas parade going on, so I went to that, and when I came back the deer had got up and moved, and rather than push it all over the place, backed out and came back the next day to find it. And it was definitely one of those humbling experiences. It was one of those deals where I shot this deer. I was 100% sure I killed this deer, which I mean I guess I did, but I thought this deer went down immediately, and really all it did is lay down immediately. It was a paunch shot, and not necessarily the way that we like to do it, but persistence pays off, and sometimes if you guys back out and just let the deer lay, a lot of times you can head in there the next day and find them. So here we go. We're going to clean this thing out. I'm going to keep this short because it is cold, wet, and rainy out.
Thank you guys so much for following along with these hunts. I had a blast putting this together and reliving some of these old memories, and even thinking about next year's hunting season. If this kind of thing interests you guys and you want to see more of it, maybe check out some of my other videos. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends about this, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.